Hey guys, how you doing? This is Benjamin with Benjamin Exotics. In this video today, we're going to be looking at how to pick your first ball python. This is meaning, you go out, the ball python market is already crowded as it is. There's a bunch of different options for the snake that you're looking, and there's going to be a bunch of different ones that you're looking for that are the same exact morph. And you're going to be thinking, how do I pick the one that's for me? So this video can hopefully assist you guys with that. So, few things before we get into actual colors, personalities, what they're eating, etc. Let's look at health first and examining your ball python. First thing I would recommend for you guys, number one, if you go up to a breeder and the breeder says or will not let you examine the snake, hold the snake, don't buy from that breeder. I'm not saying that there could be anything wrong with them, of course there could be, but if the breeder will physically not let you see the snake, it's probably not because they're trying to hide something, but you need to be able to examine the snake before you get it, before you make that purchase. So, I'll show you guys a few things that I would check for health-wise when we're first looking at the snake. Completely forget color. We need to make sure the snake's healthy. Because even if it's the best, colored snake and it's feeding great, if it's, got some really bad RI and it's about to die, there's no reason to get it because you're just going to waste your money and time and, you're going to waste your resources and energy. I've already, basically said that. But you're going to basically waste your passion as well. So, first of all, what we'll look at with these guys is you want to check the belly. With babies, bellies on most morphs should be completely white. If it's like a yellow belly or something, or even some normals will have it, they will have black freckling going down their stomachs, right? And you want to check their bellies. If they have the black freckling, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing bad about it. It's just, a pattern that they have. My adult normal has that. But what we want to be looking at on the belly is three things. One, dried out scales, meaning the scales are peeling up. Like, your skin would get dried out and it would start to peel, almost like where a cut would be. We want to be looking for that, which means the snake's been kept on a bedding that's been getting wet and then dried out and wet then dried out, or they've been kept on a bedding that's abrasive. And that's just not good. That means the snake is not in the best, health and was not in the best setup. The second thing that we're going to look for is redness under the scales, literally looking like blood under the scales. I don't have it on this snake, of course, because there would be no reason to have it on this snake because I don't keep them in a way that would make that. But that's normally because of an unclean cage or because of a burn. Normally want to see a completely clear belly. If anything looks bad or red or brown, that's going to be a problem. So for the second thing, look for any red under the scales that looks just like blood. They should be clean, clear bellies, just like this girl right here. And the third thing is scale rot. This is brown. It almost looks like dirt stuck on the scales, but you can't brush it off. That's basically how I can describe it. It is a mold that, is from too dirty of a cage or too wet of a cage, or just not enough heat and the snake can't, fight off normal bacteria. But it's something that literally can kill your snake if it gets bad enough. I've seen some really bad cases. I've only ever had to deal with it really, minor, and it's because the snake would go to the bathroom. I wouldn't catch it for maybe, 4 or 5 days. They'd sit on it and keep doing that over and over and over again, and I'd have problems. But those are the three main things with the belly. Second, a kind of set of things. Let's see if we can actually get this on her. I do not like to head snakes, and you guys will know from what I've said before, but let's really quickly look at this girl. We're looking at her heat pits, which are all those little holes in the front of her face that she uses to sense prey. The heat of prey, heatness signature. We want to make sure all those are clear and free of debris or anything. We want to look at the eyes and make sure the eyes scales aren't crinkled or anything like that, or that they actually have, good eyes. We want to check that the eyes are not cloudy, of course. Another thing that you want to do is lightly squeeze the snake behind the head. It's not going to hurt the snake at all, and under the mouth. And if you do that and you see any mucus come out of the nose or the mouth, that is going to tell you that that snake has respiratory infection, and of course you shouldn't get it. And once we're at the face, I normally don't do this, but if you really want to, you can pop the lip open on the side right there, finally the camera focused, and look in that mouth and just make sure that there's no mouth rot in the snake's mouth. So I do not like doing that to snakes, what I just did, but it's something that does have to be done to show you guys the proper way to examine a snake, basically. So after we've figured the snake's health, and the last thing is just go ahead and check out their vent. Let's see if this will actually focus. Come on, focus. Focus. Okay, it's not going to focus, but this is the vent where the snakes go to the bathroom. Just make sure it's clear of no cheesy substance. There we go. That took way too long to focus, but make sure it's clear of any crusty, like cheesy substance that could be an infection, and just make sure it looks good. These are the three main things: belly, tail, and head. Just make sure none of their scales on the top look burned or dried out, and you should be fine besides that. Now let's start talking about colors and morphs and stuff. Okay. Number one, the first thing that I would advise you guys to do when you're going to pick up your first ball python, especially at a reptile expo, is set a budget. Say, I have $500 to spend. I already have caging, which I advise doing before you get the snake, of course. I already have caging, and I have $500 that I'm willing to spend on this snake, or $200, or $1,000, whatever your budget is. And don't even consider snakes that are outside of your budget. Now, if you see a snake that's a little bit outside your budget, you can make the judge call on that one. But once you have a budget set, you have basically eliminated the money part. Because sometimes the problem will be is where people, sit here and say, oh, my budget is $500, and there's two snakes here that are the same morph. One's a pastel heifer clown, and one's a pastel heifer clown. One of them looks amazing, but it's $400. One of them looks not so good, but it's only $200. Or if I get the $200 one, even though it doesn't look as good, it'll be pretty close, and I'll save money. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's such a bad idea. I don't want to mean, I don't want to be so blunt with it. But if you go out there and you're just looking to get a pet snake, you probably shouldn't even have a pet snake to begin with. If you're just going out there saying, oh, I want a pet ball python, you want the pet ball python, the one that is the right fit for you, the one that's the best colors and the right, eating the right stuff, and that basically is the best for your lifestyle. Okay, not all ball pythons are going to be the same. I've shown that many, many, many times. They have different personalities, different colors, of course, and, different feeding responses and everything. So if you just want a pet snake, just for the sake of having a pet snake, go outside, catch a garter snake, look at it for a little while, and then release it. Don't get a ball python. So in my opinion, I would set a price range, and then any snake that meets that price range and meets the exact colors that you're looking for, then you can get it, and price is no longer an option, or price is no longer a problem, more or less. And I keep touching her head, and she's jerking back. I hope nobody, gets me any hate for that, but it's something that does happen. We got to get her used to her head being touched anyways. And can you guys hear that thunder? Dang, it's really storming outside right now. Also, this is pretty obvious, compatibility. If you're going to get two ball pythons that are pets, even if you're never going to breed, just think about compatibility. If you're going to get a pastel heifer clown, that looks really nice, and then you're going to get a pewter that's not heifer clown, that doesn't really make any sense. I would wait so you can get a pewter heifer clown. So if you ever would want to breed, you can make some amazing, amazing, amazing combos. Also, I would advise getting a well-started snake versus a baby. Babies are great. Babies are normally fine on feeding, but fresh out of the egg, if they have any feeding problems and you're not a pro and you haven't dealt with them before, you're really going to have, not the best experience if that happens. Also, you want to check out the breeder when you're getting your snake. You don't want to get from somebody you never heard of. You don't want to get from somebody that you don't trust. If you have any doubts about trusting that breeder, do not get the snake from them, because you might spend $400 on the snake, bring it home, find out it's sick, find out it has all these parasites that you couldn't examine on the outside of the snake, and it dies in 5 days or something ridiculous like that. And I haven't really had that happen too much. I got one snake that got sick a little whiles back, a normal heifer clown girl, but the breeder basically has made it right, and we'll see how the transaction continues to flow. I don't know what happened with the snake, but that's a little bit off topic. Quality versus quantity, of course. Always make sure you're getting the best quality snake that you can. Don't get one. Don't ever settle for less, ever. When we're looking at ball pythons. And make sure, you got to check what it's feeding too. Make sure that it's on the kind of food you want, whether it be rats or mice, most likely, preferably rats, because you don't want to get a snake that's eating mice and try to feed it rats and have problems like that. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you guys liked the video, please give it a like, and if you like the channel, please subscribe. If you guys have any questions about getting a first snake or any other advice that you guys would like to hear, please leave those questions and comments, down in the comment section below. So hope you guys did enjoy this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.